Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, we've got Alf Saves playing the Tier 5 Premium Royal Navy battleship Agincourt. Well, this is a pretty low tier game, obviously. We've got Tiers 4 and 5 in this game. There is a CV on either team. No, two CVs on either team. So we've got two CVs that could potentially be attacking this Agincourt. And a couple, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3 destroyers. 1, 2, 3, is that 4 cruisers with torpedoes? Do I have that right? Either way, a lot of torpedoes and a lot of aircraft in this game. And, you know, in terms of the battleship threat, well, New York and Texas both hit really hard. Iron Duke. None of these ships are accurate. Dispersion. The dispersion and the sigma values pretty laughable, but it's, you know, it's low tier. Give you the particulars on the Agincourt. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turrets. 2 barrels per turret, 14 guns. So you got a 14 gun broadside on this thing, and they are 305s with a base range of 15.34 kilometers. Reload time 36 seconds, that's base. The sigma value 1.5, so about what you'd expect for a Tier 5 battleship. Maximum dispersion 214 meters horizontally and 129 meters vertically. And there goes the 14 gun volley off. What was he aiming at? Phoenix? See if anything lands. Nope. Not a thing. And it's a little less of a worry running broadside at this tier because really nobody's any more accurate than you, or not enough to make a huge difference. The big threat is whether or not the CVs come after you. Because really there is no AA. So you do not want to have to deal with aircraft. And there goes another volley on a relatively broadside cruiser. 3 pins, 3,700 damage. So it's not going to win any awards. Not the shot, but the ship. But the secondaries are going to work because the Phoenix is just pushed in close. And you can see the secondary range on this ship is 8.3 kilometers. which is kind of funny, really. And Alf picks up the first blood by finishing off the Phoenix. And he's just tanking the cruiser shells. And what was that from? Iron Duke? No, there's a cruiser back there. Or is that a Jaguar? Either way, nothing's really doing much damage. But one way or the other, our hero is going to need to turn. If he keeps going straight, he's just going to run into an island. Oh, that cruiser is straightening out. Looks like he's going to show broadside. This could be potentially devastating here. Nope. And the good guys lose the Kotovsky. So the good guys are down 2 ships and also have a turbine that is about to be sunk. Or at least is close to being sunk in terms of HP. And the bad guys, well, they've got that cruiser that's probably going to get sunk. I imagine probably with this volley, if somebody doesn't beat him to it. And somebody did. De Ruyter picked it up. So the question now becomes, as it usually does on this map when you push out wide, do you go inside of this island or do you just continue going around the outside? Now, if you go around the outside, take your guns out of the action for a little while, and you put yourself in a position where potentially you're going to have to run because, if a destroyer decides to push right at you, get yourself in trouble with torpedoes. But Alf decides that he's going to stay inside, and he's relatively well protected. Nice shot. Relatively well protected against torpedo strike here, as long as the DD doesn't come between those islands that you see kind of at, well, let's call it 10 o'clock to Alf's position, now more like 9 o'clock. And we can see the Jaguar is actually more at 11 o'clock, so not any real direct threat in terms of torpedoes right now, but that could change. Jaguar is very fast. And our hero does get behind the island here, leaving the Furitaka to deal with the Iron Duke. De Ruyter trying to put guns on the Jaguar, thus far with limited success. Friendly Phoenix is sunk. Good guys down 3 ships now. Bad guys still down only 2. Oh, good guys are now down 4 ships. And Furitaka is going to be nose to nose with the Jaguar here in just a second. And also with the Iron Duke. So things are not looking good for Furitaka's position. And you may remember that the torpedo angles on the Furitaka are really kind of rear facing. Furitaka does finish off the Jaguar. And it looked like he was turning to get guns on the destroyer, but that's made it almost impossible to have a shot with his torpedoes on this battleship. Aims high enough for that HE to do some work. And a little bit of HE damage there. Good guys now down 5 ships, bad guys only down 3, and Furitaka does get the torpedoes away and blaps the Iron Duke for what is remaining of its HP. Now, Alpha's moving into range of the Texas. This ought to be interesting. As the enemy New York takes out Koenig, and the turbine takes out the New York. Burns it down. Well, this is, it's still anybody's game, but right now it doesn't look very good for the good guys. The bad guys are in the friendly cap. Texas guns hit very hard. Clemson now nose to nose with the turbine. Looks like Hill is moving to support. And let's hope Alf is able to set another fire. Turbine does torpedo the Clemson. No more fires, but that's a nice chunk of damage. Almost 5,400 damage there on the main gun volley. Secondary is still working. De Ruyter is sitting in the cap. And the enemy Langley appears to want to do a little something about that. De Ruyter's AA is doing what it can, but at this tier, if you have AA at all, it's not going to be too effective. Texas looks like it is about to be sunk, and down it goes. Hill finishes it off, and this game actually is looking pretty darn good for the good guys now, but Mitsuki obviously has thrown torpedoes and is now just hoping for them to connect. Secondaries are going to work on the Mitsuki, and it goes dark. Torpedoes are almost certainly on the way. A nice volley. Big chunk of HP from the Kotovsky. All kinds of torpedo threat. We got torpedoes on the aircraft. I think we got torpedoes on Kotovsky. We got torpedoes on the Mutsuki, and down goes De Ruyter. Both teams now down to 5 ships. Secondaries go to work on this cruiser. Hill has taken a position in the friendly cap, which is going to keep anybody from capping us out, but oof. And that's that Royal Navy HE. Just Citadels the Kotovsky to finish it off.
Fire.
Alf trying to thread the needle here between these torpedoes. Well, he's able to dodge one. And Mutsuki has made himself visible again. Nice shot. And Alf picks up the Confederate. And the CVs have just kind of made a project of Alf. One of them lands right on the nose. He's floods, but repair party fixes that. Here comes the next wave of aircraft. And this cruiser dead ahead is about to be sunk. If the Rhine doesn't finish him, Alf will. And then I think it'll be the Langley's turn. Yeah, that's probably going to be it for that cruiser. Mutsuki has come back. Plainly has torpedoes loaded again. That's kill number 3 if you're keeping track. And our hero is liable to finish up the Mutsuki with secondaries. He goes to work on the Langley with his main guns. That is exactly what happens. Picks up the high caliber. Have to hope the Mutsuki didn't get another batch of torpedoes away. And the secondary is now just shredding that poor Langley. And now it's just the Rhine. Alf is able to successfully get between these torpedoes. Radagast the Brown alert. Yeah, that's good. Well, our hero has picked up a Kraken and just keeps pushing right into the face of the bad guys. Nicely done, Alf. And as he's just commented there, it's a good thing the bad guys didn't realize he had no AA. Hopefully no flood, no flood. Now, when the friendly CV spots that Rhine, Alf will be ready. Now, that's assuming that the good guys don't just cap and win the game. There he is. Furitaka has left the cap. Looks like Turbine plans to stay there. Might not get a chance to finish the Rhine, but he's definitely going to be doing some damage. Yeah, about 3,000, 2,900, somewhere around there. So, taking a look at the numbers, 10 incapacitations, 11 fires, 67 shells on target, main shells, 131 secondary hits, 5 ships sunk, detected a ship, and picked up a Citadel, and basically all of the awards. Great game, Alf. This one is securely in the bag. I appreciate you sending this to me. It's fun to watch. I like playing tiers 5 to 7. It's at least to my mind kind of a more pure, fun version of the game. Those of you joining me, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.